Börje Ekholm joining us here at the Global Business Summit. He's, of course, CEO of Ericsson. And he's here to share his perspective on transforming India's tomorrow with 5G. In conversation with him, back again, Nikunj Dalmia, Editor-in-Chief, ET Now and ET Now Swadesh. Can we have you back on stage? And, of course, we are doing it in transformative style as well, where Ekholm joins us here on screen.
Yes.
Well, since we're talking technology, I just thought that, the best way to really talk to the Ericsson Global Head is to really, connect technology. And right. Wonderful. But now Ericsson has been in India for about 120 years. Can you talk about the presence, the importance of India, and in the overall scheme of things, where does India really fit in?
Thank you for having me, first of all. Yes, India is one of our most important markets. We've been in India since, as you noted, 120 years. I think we built the first switch in 1903. But since then, of course, we have evolved. We've been part of 2G through 5G. And today, India is one of our most important countries with the largest workforce. So we have more than 20,000 colleagues in India. Here we're, of course, doing service delivery, but I would also say it's a key hub for our research in AI, 6G, as well as network APIs. So for us, it's really a very important presence for us. And when you are now, you see a very fast 5G rollout. And of course, that's something that we have been a key partner for the Indian operators in achieving. So we're very excited about our presence.
So, Börje, how has India's strategic investment in digital infrastructure and efficient spectrum allocation really positioning you on the digital forefront? And what about the 5G technology adaptation in India?
That's a great question. To participate in the future and to digitalize a country, it's all about the digital stack. And building out that whole stack is critical. The first and very important step here is, of course, connectivity layer. And there India has done a very, very strong job. So if we look today, it's built out 5G coverage for, I think it's 80% population coverage, 270 million subscribers of 5G already. So I think India is by far one of the fastest build out of 5G we have seen in the world. And today it's actually a very strong network, probably one of the absolutely highest consumption of data in any network around the world will be found in India.
So, Börje, how do you foresee the 5G technology contributing to India's growth? Because with 5G comes speed, with speed comes productivity and connectivity. And when productivity and connectivity, they come together, that always will lead to economic growth.
I think it already has, actually. So if you look at, I think the strategies around Digital India, it's all built on the connectivity you have. Of course, their 4G networks played a role, but now it's migrating over to 5G. And what I'm really excited about is to see the way India have been able to digitalize the whole country. But what I also is excited to see is what's going to happen in the future. Because we'll add new use cases, entrepreneurs, innovators, call it a startup ecosystem in India. We'll actually have a chance here to develop new type of solutions, new products on top of the networks. And I think that's going to pivot India towards a very exciting future.
So, Börje, how exactly do you see 5G or Indian companies really benefiting from this entire 5G turn or tide? And are there any use cases within India which others perhaps can take inspiration from?
I think sometimes you underestimate the importance of what's actually happening in India. Today, to single out the unique use cases on 5G is very hard. But what we are starting to see is the development of new applications, new use cases. Can be, for example, in healthcare, can be in mission critical, can be in other enterprise applications. So we're starting to see that, and here I think India has a chance to be a front runner.
So Börje, Ericsson has been really talking about 5G being a platform for innovation, important innovation. How do you see yourself partnering with the developers ecosystem, and how can essentially the 5G service providers really benefit from it?
That's a very good question, a very important question. So when we look today on the digital stack, the interesting thing, we're going to run a number of different applications. It can be, for example, AI workloads, or it can be voice recognition, or it can be AR, VR glasses, or it can be enterprise applications, or for that, a fully connected police force, for example. All of these will require different type of characteristics. That's exactly what 5G was built for. So 5G was actually built to offer differentiated connectivity depending on the use case. And we're starting to see that happening now. So of course 5G is important because it allows that type of differentiated connectivity. So what we are doing now, we're actually exposing that type of, call it then, differentiated connectivity to the developer ecosystem that can then start to build new applications. So if, for example, if I run an AI workload, I may want to have a very high uplink. Then I can order the network to give me that high uplink as a developer. And that, I think, will actually spur innovation and really realize the promise of making 5G a bed for future innovation.
So, Börje, the entire telecom network has evolved. It started with voice, moved to data, started with pictures, now has moved to videos. How do you see the entire network or the mobile network really evolving in the future?
Yeah. What we see is that the networks will be, I call them horizontalized. So they will be open programmable networks. And it's back to the question of the future use cases. They will be very different, putting very different demands on the network. So it can be a mission critical application that needs very high uplink and very low latency. Or it can be, making financial transactions more secure. All of that will require programmable networks. So where we need to move the networks is from being single use cases, i.e. mobile broadband, into this type of multiple use cases. So that will require them to be fully programmable, fully automated, and basically have zero touch, and make it very fast to spin up that differentiated connectivity that's going to be used depending on use case. So I think we're actually at a very, very interesting point in time where we change the architecture of the networks and in a way preparing the networks for 6G as well. And that's where we are as an industry now. We're just at that turning point. Very exciting time in the development of our industry.
Right, Börje, really appreciate your time. Glad you could join us. And just when, ladies and gentlemen, we think that things are getting dull for the entire mobile industry, up comes an innovation from voice to video, video to data, and now perhaps AI. So that's how the technology, I guess, is moving. And I think when Börje is saying exciting times ahead, I'm really looking forward to, what exciting times ahead would be for the entire mobile industry. So with that, I'll hand it back to my colleagues, Vikram. So Börje says the exciting times ahead. And I just wonder what exciting times. Voice has become picture, picture has become video. And he's saying the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come, and that's what we are talking about. I mean, we are evolving, we are emerging, we are expanding. So when you expand, there is so much more that comes to the table, and digital connectivity, there is a lot of transformation happening in that space, isn't it true?
And one thing never changes, that when you speak to an audience, take the mic close.
Yes, absolutely. So transformativeness in digital connectivity, what were your larger takeaways from what Börje said?
No, I think what we must realize is that he's saying that we are at the cusp of what could be called as a technology platform plus AI. When these three things come together, which is speed, technology, productivity, we are looking at a huge change coming. And I mean, by the way, I had my first phone, which was an Ericsson phone.
Yes.
And missed call marte the.
Because it was so expensive.
Those days are gone now.
Yes.
Now voice is free, data is affordable.
Correct.
And innovation, I think, is at the breakthrough moment.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Nikunj. Such a pleasure always. Thank you. So absolutely, like Börje Ekholm is saying through that conversation, Nikunj, thank you indeed. It was enlightening to see the direction in which we are seeing digital connectivity move.